I just wanted to make this video because I think there is something going on in the community as well as all over the world in various countries that people are not that aware of. Um, anyways, it's got to do with like man hating or something. Like, I feel like there's like a high feminism war out against men or something where men are treated as monsters even when they happen to not be monsters. Like, I know that there are pretty bad men out there that have done terrible things to women, but that doesn't mean that every single man out there is a bad person. But I'm talking about like situations where men have not even done anything wrong. Like like I posted another video in the description below that was made by somebody else. You can watch that video after you're done watching this. Anyways, I encourage you to watch it after this. I encourage you to watch it. But anyways, like in the video, you'll see that like a mailman was delivering the mail to this one girl at her house, and the girl just walked up to the mailman and said, "Sir, stop stalking me." And the man was like, "What?" And she was like, "Stop stalking me. You've been coming around my house stalking me every day, and if you don't stop, I'm going to turn you in. I'm going to call the police on you." And the guy was like, just doing his job. He wasn't stalking her, he was just delivering the mail to her every day. That's his job. He's the mailman. That's his job. Anyways, there's also another scene where a woman accuses a man of sexual harassment all because he said hi to her. And yet she got so riled up, so aggressive, cussing and swearing at the guy. She wouldn't leave the guy alone. And like I think one of the neighbors even came out and checked on like what was going on, and I think they were about to call the police on the girl because she would not stop harassing the guy and accusing him of things that he didn't do. And when they were about to call the police, she just got in her car and took off before the police arrived. And I don't know what that was about, but yeah, she accused him of sexual harassment all because he said hi. I mean, that's not sexual harassment, and I have no idea what she's smoking, but seriously. I mean, that's just as dumb as saying, "Oh my gosh, that guy's doing his assignment with a pencil. That's rape." Oh my gosh, girl, were you born yesterday? Really? I mean, seriously. That's literally what I want to say to these girls when they treat men like that, when a man actually hasn't done anything wrong. Like the thing is, yes, a lot of men out there have done terrible, terrible things to women. But the thing is, women can't just go up to men and accuse them of sexual harassment or sexual assault just because other men have done stuff like that. Doesn't mean that this man did that. He said hi, big deal. He's delivering your mail, big deal. He's doing his assignment, big deal. He's walking down the street, big deal. He's going to class, big deal. You dropped your stuff from your backpack onto the floor. He offers to help you pick the stuff up and put them back in your backpack. Big deal. Don't call that sexual harassment or creeper, sweeper, whatever. I mean, seriously, that's like associating like a worm with a dog, or associating the lake with a cat, or associating a pencil with the moon, or I don't know. It's like associating one thing with something that it has no relation to, like it has no affiliation with. That, I mean, it's dumb and random and just, I mean, it's dumb. It's just really dumb. And the thing is, it's also really rude and really offensive, and I get the impression that girls are doing this on purpose to just express pure sexism, prejudice, and discrimination against men. The thing is, I've had my fair share of women doing this to me, and I will be honest. And I've had this one time, like, I've had times where girls I've known in high school acted like as if they never even met me before. And they called me a creep. Even if I was a good friend of theirs in high school, they treated me like as if they never met me before, and they called me a creep. Like after high school graduation. I even told my mom about this. My mom even saw stuff like this happen. My mom thinks those girls are idiots, and she told me to stop talking to them because they're retarded. And so, anyways, there was also this one time where this one girl I knew from high school, like since sophomore year, um, a year and a like a half a year after, like half a year after high school graduation, after senior year in high school, um, she started ignoring me whenever I saw her at church. Like I would see her at church and I would say hi. She would just walk away and ignore me. And she would do that up and down for a whole year. Then she blocked me on Facebook, and I have no idea why. And there was this one time also where I was holding the door open for a bunch of people at church when the church was over, and I was like kindly opening the door for people, and she was the only one. When she saw me, she walked the opposite direction and went out the other opposite end of the building, walked around the parking lot out to her car, and took the longest way possible to get to her car just to avoid me. And her car was like a few parking stalls down from where I was. And she just went out at an opposite direction of the building to just avoid me. No one noticed that but me. I then got to a point where I just couldn't take it anymore, and I talked to her brother, and I said, "Why is your sister doing this? What did I do to deserve this?" And he acted all defensive, told me to leave her alone, and I told him that we knew each other really well in like since sophomore year in high school, and then he was like, "Okay, she's not your friend. She's an acquaintance. There's a difference." And I got really upset with that, and I just told him saying, "Well, we actually were friends in high school. Take it or leave it. But the thing is, if she doesn't want to be my friend anymore, then fine, we're not friends anymore. If that's what she wants, I'll call it off. If she's too much of a chicken to call it off herself, I'm calling it off. Because I don't deserve this BS." So I just walked away from him. Anyways, another thing that's even more sensitive to me is that my grandpa went through something like this too before he died. And it actually led up to his death. He died at the age of 89. He was accused, like a few months before his death, he was accused of sexually harassing one of the employees at his assistant living facility at Sunrise Assistant Living. And because of that, they kicked him out. The thing is, my parents tried to prove that it was not sexual harassment, and if it, like, they did not believe that he sexually harassed anyone, and that if he did, it was probably an accident, or he probably had really bad dementia, because he actually was having dementia at the time. He was really old and senile. He was 89. And the thing is, we had to transfer him to a different assistant living facility afterwards called The Ridge. And so then after that, Sunrise, being complete buttholes they contacted The Ridge, told them about my grandfather, and told them about the rumor of the sexual assault incident or sexual harassment incident. And because of that, The Ridge also kicked him out. We had no choice but to let him stay at my parents' house for the next 2 weeks until he passed away. He passed away at our house, at my parents' house. And so, anyways, my grandpa, that's how he went out. I feel like he died from a broken heart. And the thing is, his whole life, he was never accused of sexual assault nor sexual harassment. He was never accused of anything like that at all. Ever. And the thing is, it might have very well been an accident because he was pretty crippled. He was hunched over. He couldn't watch where he was moving his arms, and there were times where he even bumped his arm into my chest and my stomach. The thing is, my grandfather, he was so hunched over, he couldn't control where he was moving his arms when he was trying to look behind him. Or if I was like to help him put his coat on, he was not able to watch where he was moving his arms. He was way too stuck in facing forward. He couldn't turn around at all. He had to use a walker to walk. He was literally like worse than the Hunchback of Notre Dame, crippled. Like way worse. He couldn't even stand up unless he had a walker. And yeah, he bumped his arm into me many times when I would help him put his arm like through a coat or anything like that. Or if I was helping him up and put his arm around my neck to help him up onto his walker. And the thing is, that might have been what happened. He might have accidentally sexually touched an employee at the facility on accident in that regard. That might have been what happened. And if that's the case, it was an accident. But the thing is, even if I say that, they're not going to listen. They're not going to care. They're going to hedge, and they're going to just ignore, and they're going to think that I'm a bunch of baloney, and they're not going to care. But the thing is, I feel like they killed him because I feel like he died from a broken heart. He died 2 weeks after he was kicked out of the second assisted living facility. And the thing is, he was a good man. Everyone had great respect for him his whole life. His wife, my grandma, had great respect for him through the 60 plus years of their marriage before she passed away in 2014. And yeah, he was a good man. The thing is, he was always known as a good man his whole life. And for people at the end of his life to refer to him as a sex assault person, whatever, that is not for someone like that to go out. No one should ever have to go out like that. And so yeah, I do feel like in a way they killed him. And the thing is, they're not going to give a crap. I mean, he was like a really strong devout Christian. Like, he was really, really devout in living the right way. Like, being respectful to everyone, respecting his neighbor, everything like that. I don't think it was fair for those places to treat him like garbage like that. He did not deserve that, even on his deathbed. But they felt like he did. Anyways, I posted another video in the description below that goes even more into depth of what I'm trying to point out here about women really just making a mountain out of a molehill or just claiming something is sexual harassment when it's actually not, and making a big deal out of nothing. I mean, it's like as if, I don't know, like they are so full of PTSD from all of the crap that women have gone through in real life that the PTSD is getting to their heads, thinking that all men and everything they do is associated with sexual assault, even if it's just opening the door or writing with a pencil or saying hi to them or delivering their mail or whatever. I mean, seriously, it's like I don't know how else to say it besides saying they got their panties in a twist or something. But, I mean, really, I don't know. I mean, and at the same time, I just want to go up to them and say, were you born yesterday? Because what you're saying sounds just as much sense as someone who was born yesterday. I don't know. It's like how they are acting just makes no sense at all. But anyways, watch the video in the description below. It's from someone else, but the video gives a baseline on what I'm trying to explain here. So watch that video in the description below, and you'll understand more of what I'm trying to explain. I hope you all have a good day. Thanks for watching my video. Please watch that other video in the description below.